Hey y'all, it's Krypton Critics. I'm here to review my top 10 movies of 2018. I didn't do it for one of the previous years, so I'm trying to get acclimated and do it every single year. So my number 10 spot is Aquaman. Jason Momoa playing Aquaman, his latest DC EU movie. Um, I was I was expecting that this movie would be a little better because it was more focused on just one character. I've, the work that this director has done, it has been pretty, very visually interesting and very unique. I also really liked Jason Momoa in just Justice League, so I'm like, okay, he was very entertaining, and he was in this one, and I liked all the subtext of information of him being seen as not as worthy because he's mixed. It's very cool that not only did we get Into the Spider-Verse, which is about Miles Morales, but we get Aquaman, so we get two mixed race superheroes. I'm definitely a fan of mixed race superheroes. I'm mixed race myself, and it's very interesting that one definitely leans more into the idea and why it can be important and why he's different to like bring Earth and sea together. But Miles' case, it's he just is. He just is mixed race. My number 9 choice is Wreck-It Ralph. Obviously, well, sorry, Ralph Breaks the Internet. That's what the sequel is called. I really liked the emotional depth that was put in this movie. Seeing the relationship between Penelope and Ralph himself, and there was a lot of very cute, entertaining jokes they put in there. A lot of interesting characters. Like they had a spammer inside the internet. He was very cool. Gal Gadot plays uh, like a badass heroine of this video game about racing, and it was a lot of fun. There was a few jokes that did not work for me at all, but towards the end, I'm just like, wow, this is really fun, and really enjoyed it, and everything built up, and it had good payoff of the two main leads, and I understand them more, and they feel more three-dimensional, obviously 3D anime movie, haha. But I recommend it to kids, especially families. They're gonna love it. My number 8 choice is Ant-Man and the Wasp. This was the last MCU movie of this year. It was released in later summer. I liked the villain that they had in their Ghost a little bit. I liked the background they gave her. Lawrence Fishburne was a good addition. The Wasp and Ant-Man as the actual characters were very fun to see, and how they connected to obviously the first Ant-Man movie, and getting back Janet from the microverse. That was all very touching and all very beautiful, and just seeing like Ant-Man being on the house arrest and being there for his little daughter, it was all very heartwarming, and it's a very funny movie, so that's why I put it up here. The movie I put above Ant-Man and the Wasp is Bumblebee. This is definitely the greatest Transformer movie to come out in quite a long time, because the Michael Bay movies are not fine art. If you're just talking about it and strictly filmmaking, there's a lot of bad writing. There's the characters are never likable. I mean, the amount of detail they put into 3D animation, like hats off to those people that work on it. But those movies also suffer from really bad humor, like having mud flapping skids be goddamn like Sambo ass characters. It's just like, oh my god. But this movie is what those movies could have been, and it really shows that, you know, you just put heart into it. And I got very excited when I heard about this movie because I saw who was directing it. It was Travis Knight. I joked around before that, you know, I call him Chili T because he tried to be a rapper back in the day. But he directed Cuba and Two Strings, and his background is in, you know, the Leica Studios, you know, films. So just hearing that alone and how he can tell a story between each frame, I'm just like, okay, I have a lot of faith just by you mentioning that name right there. But you know, Haley Steinfeld plays a very great character that has a really good connection with Bumblebee himself, and John Cena puts up a pretty decent role, and you know, he's really getting better as, you know, an actor. You know, not just as, you know, a beefed up dude that's just there to look intimidating. And you know, this movie definitely like tugged at my heartstrings, you know, towards the end, and I really liked it. I even liked, you know, the somewhat love interest, you know, this young black dude. Ultimately, you could argue that he really doesn't need to be there, but I really liked his connection, and the fact that, you know, he doesn't get together with the main girl. I'm just like, okay, very good. My next choice is Deadpool 2. I like Deadpool 2 more than the original. Now, a lot of people will not agree with me on there. I loved Cable. I thought he was really great to watch. Dopinder, I liked even more in watching this movie. I think a lot of jokes hit better. I liked the New Zealander kid, you know, that they were trying to save. I wasn't expecting, you know, Vanessa to go out that way, but you know, I really liked how Deadpool like kept seeing her even after she had passed, and you know, the connection that they still had. It was all very beautifully done, and you know, they just have like a really good cast of characters that just come back and really shine. I don't know how I completely feel about just everyone X-Force except for Domino just getting axed off, but you know, whatever, or X'd off. The movie I have above this is Drastic World, Fallen Kingdom. This is at my number 5 spot. I know a lot of people flat out hated this movie. This is one movie where I do not see, you know, the big consensus around, you know, for me personally. I'm just like, I had too much fun with this movie. You know, Owen Wilson. No, sorry, not Owen Wilson. Chris Pratt as Owen. I'm sorry. Just such a likable character, and the chemistry he has with it, you know, even with some of the new characters, you know, I loved, and I love seeing Blue and the connection that they have, and you know, I know that the villains get a little, but you know, I thought it was fun, honestly. You know, I mean, you could argue that I've only seen 3 of the Jurassic Park/World movies. I saw the original Jurassic Park, saw Jurassic World, and Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. This is my favorite out of those 3 movies. Now, don't get me wrong, I really think Jurassic Park is a good movie, but it did not grab me, or I didn't have as much fun as I did with this movie. So, I mean, you know, just opinion. You know, I'm not gonna say you're wrong for liking Jurassic Park more. I mean, many people will definitely agree with you, and whatever. My number 4 spot for top movies of 2018 is Incredibles 2. You know, this movie was much awaited, and we were just like, when is this movie gonna come out? give us Incredibles 2, goddammit. It's like, you had 3 Cars movies. It's like, where's Incredibles 2? And we got it. And it was so fulfilling, and it was so fun, and it didn't, lose a beat. Everyone was on their A game, everyone coming back. This movie made me appreciate the character Violet a lot more. I love seeing Mr. Incredible with the stay-at-home dad style life. His wife going off and doing the main heroics. The villain was very believable and very interesting. And the connection to like the person that's trying to like make heroes happen again. All great, and you already know it's a Pixar movie. The animation is going to be amazing. It's going to sound great, and yeah. If you haven't seen the movie, just go see it, with family or just by yourself, because it's just that great. My number 3 spot is one that apparently a lot of people did not see, and it failed financially, but I had so much fun and I enjoyed it so much. Maybe you could say, well, Eric, you're just a fanboy. Of course you're gonna like this movie. And that movie is Solo, A Star Wars Story. Starring Alden Ehrenreich as Han Solo. People already started hating him even before he had said anything in any trailer, but they started drooling over fucking Josh Gambino for Lando, just automatically. Don't get me wrong. Alden Ehrenreich had weight of the world on his shoulders. For a movie that severely underperformed. Lowest returning Star Wars movie ever, and I think it was the wrong time to release it. Matter of fact, Bob Iger, had said that he had pushed it to the May release date. He later came out and said that was a mistake. But I love seeing Chewbacca again, and seeing the connection that they make with Han. Seeing Han in a different mind state of we have seen him in obviously Harrison Ford performances for several movies. Kira is a very interesting character. The stinger that they have with a certain Sith, former Sith Lord, also great. The connection that they have Beckett. Memphis Ness is now like a character that I'm really interested in. If there's like a book or a comic, I just want to see what kind of connection she has, because I thought she was very interesting as a character. And just had so much fun. And oh my god, Dryden Voss, just amazing. His intimidation and the way he speaks is just beautiful. So, and what made me realize that I really did enjoy this movie, and it wasn't just fluff, is that when I went to the theater to go see this movie, the screen went black while we were watching the movie, like when Han first got into Dryden Voss's yacht, and I started getting scared, and I'm like, wait, are we gonna miss anything? And I got really like anxious, and I got a little upset, to be honest. And after like 5 minutes, they finally put it on. I'm like, oh, okay, we didn't miss anything. They actually like rewind it a little bit. And when the movie was over, I'm like, wait, that's it? I want more. But it wasn't so much that like I felt like I had been cheated. I'm just like, I want to see more of what they could show me. I'm just like, I was having so much fun, and Lando, was always great. I really like L3. I wish she had last longer, but whatever. Really entertaining. And sometimes a little deep, just a little bit. So my number 2 movie of 2018 is Black Panther. Ryan Coogler, previously did, a lot of people have known him for doing Creed. He gets his boy Michael B. Jordan to play the villain Killmonger, and We have Chadwick Boseman as T'Challa, the Black Panther. Everyone and their mama was going crazy for this movie, and it's great. Not only just as a movie and like really well done, and visual effects and the music and some of the statements, but we have a big budget movie superhero film, making $1 billion, and almost the entire cast is black. That's something that's not only unheard of until this year, but just amazing. So there was definitely a lot of people that had a lot of black pride in going to it. A lot of people wore dashikis and were wishing like Wakanda was like a real place you could go. But nothing wrong with that. It's all fantasy. It's all anything we can enjoy. It's just a movie. We're all having fun. But Killmonger is definitely one of the best superhero villains I've seen. He is very, very relatable, but also disturbed. There's a lot of nuance in his opinions, and that's what makes him, fallible, but understandably fallible. Performances all around were very great. The accents are great. The costume designing is great. I even liked what was it? Everett Ross, and Ulysses Claw, who are played by Andy Serkis and Martin Freeman. And it's kind of funny. Like one joke I read before seeing this movie is that the two white guys in this black movie are both from the Hobbit / Lord of the Rings movie. So are these the Tolkien white guys? I thought that was a brilliant joke, but whatever. My number one choice is Avengers Infinity War. This movie blew my fucking mind. It's just how awesome it was, and just the fact that they were able to bring in all these characters and not make it seem like jarring and not make it seem like really forced. It is something we're never going to stop talking about, because nothing had been done like this ever. To anywhere near the scale, anywhere near as beautiful. Like Thanos is like, if he's not in your top 5 of superhero villains or villains in superhero movies, then I don't know what to say to you, man, because he was the main character, and they made him powerful, scary, understandable, relatable, and just like seeing all these characters like just get stabbed, thrown off something to get more Infinity Stones, to get the power to erase half of sentient life, and just snapping it all away, and Thanos saying you should aim for the head, and everyone with their quips and antics, and how crazy everything gets. Like, this movie is astonishingly, every time I see it, the way they're able to bring in all the plot lines, like they bring things from Civil War, Guardians of the Galaxy, they'll mention something from Ant-Man, they'll mention something from here, there. I'm just like, how is that possible? But the Russo brothers did it, and that's why they deserve to be on number one. This movie is definitely one of my favorite movies of all time. It's 100% going to be in my top 10 for the foreseeable future. So yeah, this movie is the only one that I'm like, this one is fucking A+ out here. So tell me what y'all think. Once again, this is all my opinion. You don't have to agree with me. Just what I experienced this year of movies I had saw. I saw a couple other movies, but these are a lot of the ones that I did see. A lot of times I don't want to see a movie and go to the theater and do all that if I'm not interested at all. But whatever. As part of the Krypton Critics, tell me what you think, and I love you.